So hello everybody. I would like to show you today how to manage maintenances in StableNet 24 web user interface. We navigate to our inventory and select maintenances. To schedule a new one, we click the add sign here and add a speaking name, like demo maintenance. When going to the configuration tab, you can add an external reference, which can be the change number in your ticket system, for example. The next interesting selection is the maintenance mode. We can disable only the monitors, so we can disable only alarming, so no events will be created during this maintenance. Whereas the execution of the measurements and the collection of data still is continued. Another mode is only to disable the collection of measurement data if we know it does not make sense, for example, to have some, but we still need alerting. This mode here disables the alarming and also the collection of measurement data, but it does not deactivate the execution of the measurement itself. So if you have a scheduled job that is running as a user script, it is still executed, but no alerting is done, and also no measurement data are collected here. The next section, which will be completely deactivates the execution of the measurements. It also deactivates additional monitors that have been created. And a quite interesting feature is we can override the measurement interval. For example, if we have do a special action in our network and we reconfigure it, the default execution interval of an interface measurement by default is 5 minutes. Now we can set it to 1 minute, for example, to have a higher density of values. Or if we have issues and don't need that many values like before, we can set it to 1 hour, for example. I decide for disable the alarming because I still want to have the measurement values and I don't want to be completely blind if something goes wrong during my measurements. Now I can schedule my maintenance. I can start it immediately, or I can set a time in the future, whereas it should be a little bit in the future, several minutes. I can also schedule the end of my maintenance. So let's say I will end it tomorrow using this calendar element. Now I can add my devices and measurements I want to set into maintenance. I simply use this add filter. By default, I get the default inventory tree. And now I can search for a device as I need it. I don't want to use a regex, so I see 2 elements that are okay. So I add my New York router, and now I see all elements that are affected. Now I can select my affected measurements. I can select no additional measurements, where independent of my network topology, only the measurement on this selected device is deactivated. I can select that also connected interfaces will be set into maintenance, that no alerts will pop up on other devices, especially for network devices. This is a quite interesting setting. And also include connected devices. If I set a central server switch into maintenance, maybe all connected servers will go down, and therefore I want to avoid too many alarms. Additional to this settings, I can also use filters. I can also change my base filter. So I can use a different inventory tree, for example, our data center tree. And I'm searching for all kind of devices here. So I would like to set ACI devices into maintenance, so I can create a maintenance here. But I would like to go back to my New York filter and I reselect my default inventory tree. I select my New York router, apply this change, and now I have also the possibility to add tags. This is quite interesting if I want to filter or report maintenances, especially if I have multiple parties using the system. So for example, I can add a tag, which is my change type. I say this is, for example, an emergency change. And I set it here. And I could also add another tag I've prepared. This is the requester. If I have a multi-silo company, for example, the core network team has requested this maintenance. So everybody knows who is responsible for this maintenance, and I can easily manage this in my team. So now I can create my maintenance. I see my maintenance is pending here in our overview. Here we have some additional test maintenances that have been created before. Now I see that I do not want to wait another 15 minutes. I have the possibility to modify my maintenance I have created. So I add this maintenance start, that it starts immediately. And now I see my maintenance is active. So I forgot which elements are affected. So this is a quite easy show. So I can show the element states here that are affected by this maintenance, and I see the state overall. Again, I can filter here. I can select additional columns. So I can add the state before time, the state after time, and also the current value time to get additional information. I can create a new instance of any maintenance. So a new instance gives me the possibility that I can create based on this maintenance, including device selection and external reference and whatsoever, create a new instance of this maintenance starting at another point in time. So I can create a new instance. I name this my Saturday instance. We see I can change the timing. So I will set the start of it to tomorrow. The end of it will be on Monday. And I can do here my, cannot change my measurement selection here. And also could change my tags. And I create a new instance, which will be starting tomorrow. So this gives me the possibility to create a kind of maintenance template I can reuse every time I have to perform a recurring operation. If I made a mistake, I can also delete this maintenance. If you have a maintenance that has been already run, my recommendation is to keep it in the system for documentation purposes, even if you don't need it. So now our maintenance works have been completed. Our router is running again, pretty fine. And now we can clear this maintenance or clear this device and rediscover to be sure that if after changes of the device, like doing interface changes or adding or removing new boards, for example, then I should rediscover the device, all devices to be sure that everything is running again. I only clear now to save some time. So now everything will switch back to normal operations. I can check my element states and see that several elements are green again already, and also see some other elements still are in maintenance. This depends on the measurement interval that is set and when these elements are pulled the next time. If I would like to know which devices are in maintenance now or have been in the last several hours, I have this overview maintain devices, which gives me an overview of all devices that were affected by any maintenance. Here we see, because of our settings, that not only New York has been taken into maintenance, but also several other routers. If I go back in time, for example, I can see all other settings. If I set the time offset to 0, I see the devices that are affected by maintenances that are currently active. So I could do following. I could reschedule this maintenance, start it immediately. I have an active maintenance, and when I check maintain devices, I see that these devices now are in maintenance in comparison to the settings before. We also have the possibility to using the devices overview here to directly activate a maintenance. So if I go to New York, for example, can select my router, go to inventory using the right-click menu, jump to maintenance, and check out my current the maintenances that have been set. I see that currently a new maintenance is running. I would like to clear this, but I would like to create a new maintenance then for New York with different settings. For example, only disable alerting, so I can schedule new maintenance in here. In StableNet, we also have several other possibilities of setting maintenances. We have the possibility to create a maintenance using our discovery, like described in the discovery manual. You will find it in the document portal using operation and discovery. Here we see the possibility that we can import maintenances using the maintenance element in our StableNet discovery. As a basis for the elements that shall be taken into maintenance, we can use data template that is defined in the discovery editor, for example. We can use a DB variable which gives us the possibility to import these data directly from a database table of view. We can use a StableNet resource pool. We can use a data set, or we can also use a script for providing us this output. The CSV format of that is used for importing maintenances is explained in the StableNet manual in the maintenance chapter. Here you will find an overview how this CSV file needs to be created. And last but not least, I will also give you a hint to another possibility to import maintenance data and modify them. This is our REST API. You can, we have a subtree for maintenances, which gives us the possibility to create maintenances, to list them, to modify them, search for specific maintenances. So we can also automate the setting and disabling of maintenances in a very easy way. So hopefully I could give you some hints how to use the new StableNet web portal, or also our Discovery or REST API for using your maintenance management, and say goodbye to you.